In this tutorial, we'll take a look at how to design a measuring cup, something similar to this. We will start by creating some image planes that we'll use as reference, and then build up using some curves and offset surfaces. So let's start. The first thing I want to do is go to preferences and change the units to inches. Hit apply. Now I know that the dimensions of the cup are 7 by 4 by 4, so I want to create a cube that will represent my bounding box. So I'm going to start off with a cube. You can use grid snap to start from the center, or hold control to make a centered cube. So I'm going to create a 7 by 4 and then complete it in the front view. Double click on it and then maybe edit the size to be exact. 7 by 4 by 4. Okay, now let's go to the top view and just center this cube. Hit 1 to go into wireframe mode. Select the cube, hit W, and just drag it so that it snaps to the center. Notice that I have grid 2 snapped. Grid 2 snaps enabled, so I can snap to the center here. With this done, I will move this into a new layer that I'll create. Go to the layers tab, right click and say add layer. You can click once and then with a brief pause click again. Now let's make this the bounding box layer, and select the cube, right click, say move to layer, bounding box layer, and at this time I want to lock this layer. Right, it says you're locking the current layer, but it's okay because I'm going to switch my current layer back to default. With the layer locked, you will not be able to pick, but just use it as a reference. And next we'll see how we can import an image plane and start building on it. Let's go to the top view, and in the sketching tab you will find the image plane tool. So just select the tool, and I will just draw an image plane, basically a template, in the top view. We can resize it later. So once I draw, it's automatically going to pop up this file browser so that you can choose the image. I have the image already set up here in a folder, so I'm going to select it and hit open. It should open the image, and also you can see that the size is arbitrary right now, so we want to make the size 7 by 4. So this is going to be make it -7, and this would be 4. Since we have aspect ratio on, it's going to scale it evenly. Let's keep it at that and turn on mirror horizontal so that we can see the numbers and everything correctly. Hit the green check mark, and now the image plane is a regular object in your model browser. You can see image plane number 1 here, so you can manipulate it like any other object. You can select it and hit W, and now we can just rotate it by -90 or +90, and also use the manipulator arrows to move that into place. So at this point I just like to drag it with this XY plane and snap it to the center. And then take a look at the size. You can see that the size is a bit off, so we might have to tweak the size of the cube or the size of the image plane to match what we want. To edit the image plane, we can just double click on the object in the model browser, and here let's turn off the keep aspect ratio so that we can manipulate the size unevenly. And for the length, I'm going to type in -7 to make it slightly longer, and you can see that in the top view I think the length is fine. I just have to move the image plane to the center, for which I can use one of the grid snaps, and right click swipe to complete this operation. At this point we're going to turn off the bounding box layer. So go to the layers tab, and for the bounding box layer just click on this light bulb icon and it's going to turn it off. Move on to the top view and we will start creating the curves. So the first curve we need is just a basic circle, So alt right click and select the freeform circle tool and click in the center and just create a circle for the time being. Now in the guide bar, for the exact option, change it to NURBS degree 3 or 5, doesn't matter, and we can keep it at 8 points, or for this let's make it 12. Now this gives us more points to edit, clicking the circle, and start moving the points as we need. So let's select all of the points using a box selection, bring up the move tool, hit alt to bring up the scale, and then scale along the y-axis. So here are the two curves that I created. One is the circle that was placed at the center, and also you can see that I've edited the shape using the points, and a second circle which is very similar in shape, but it's about 3/4 of the way, or rather 2/3 of the way, between the bottom edge and this top edge here. So you can also create two of these circles, and then we can start extruding it. So the first one will be select the extrude. We're going to click on the outer circle and extrude it by 7 inches because that's the height, sorry, 4 inches. And now you want to turn on the shaded mode so that we can see what is happening here. So with shaded mode, you can double click on the extrude and make sure that the draft angle is enabled. We want to give a draft of -13 degrees, and this is something you can try out in the top view, and you can see that with the 13 degrees it's matching the edge of the image we have underneath. So you want to try whether it's 13 or 13.5, it doesn't matter. The point is that there is a draft that's required to meet this shape. Invoke the extrude tool and select the inner circle, give a length of 4, and again add a draft of -13 degrees. Now going back to the top view, you can see that we have two extrusions. Now we need to trim them so that they appear to be following the shape of the cup that is here in this image. So basically we need a line to cut across from the side view, and we're going to use that top surface, which is this one, and then blend it with the bottom surface using a loft. So let's go to the front view and draw that curve that we need. So we can start with the NURBS curve, and we'll just draw a line now and then edit the shape later. So I'm going to use grid snap 2 to snap once and then go all the way across and snap here. Right click, swipe to finish. In the next step, we will look at how to trim these surfaces and create a secondary set of surfaces. So see you there.